My wife and I, for the first 6 years of our business, we just kept our heads down and worked and worked and worked. We pretty much stayed in our own bubble. We didn't really have a network of friends and colleagues where we could get CC on our work. We didn't know we sucked. We didn't know we were any good. We were just trying to keep our head above water, put a roof over our head, and just maintain this business.
I just love looking at the artwork and trying to say, and be like, okay, and that's what it's subconsciously what influences me to do what I do.
He wants to create this experience for his clients. He wants them to feel like they're looking at a museum piece. I never asked anyone to participate in this summit because I felt like they owed me anything.
Right.
Nobody owes me anything when I do stuff for them or whatever it is. When I help them out in their business, I do it because I want to, not because I'm expecting them to scratch my back because I scratch theirs. But at the same time, I can't pour from an empty cup. I've given everything that I could give already. And I think what was disappointment is such a strong word. But in some ways, I was a little disappointed, because I've given so much already and I couldn't give any more. And people are asking for more. And I was put on a spot where I didn't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Doing that. It was very hard I worked about an hour away. So my commute was about an hour.
Oh, no.
So, and we worked 9-hour days. So that was always challenging going home. I was already a mom, like I said. So come home, cook dinner, do all of that. Then at nighttime when the kids are, edit, manage inquiries, find some time to do a wedding consultation at some point. And so it was just too much to handle. And I told my parents, hey, I'm going to quit my
company. We moved back to the U.S. Barely made enough money to survive. I thought we were going to lose our house. It was the housing crisis. I don't know if everyone remembers. It was terrible. And then, but kind of grew, add an employee there. But then in 2013 to 2014, we migrated from a Photoshop plugin to desktop software. And that 1 year, we tripled our revenues, added a bunch of employees. And that's okay, now we really got to figure out how to run a company. It's not just a garage project, which even though we had an office, it just kind of felt like that garage project. You got 3 employees and you're just kind of hustling the whole time. So it was 2014 where we really had to step up our game and really figure out, okay, instead of just trying to help people design albums, what is our bigger mission and what are we going to try to
create reels for them? And we were doing that manually for each one of our clients. And we were doing a lot of reels manually. And I was like, hey, well, we obviously know what's working, what's, a faster way to automate this and streamline it. And so that's how Social Templates was born. It's, plug and play reel templates for all photographers where you can just put in your own content. We beat match it for you. We do 90% of the work for you. All you have to do is add in your content and post to Instagram. So made it really, really easy. But the journey's been wild getting here. And I love it. And this is where I'm at today.
How does that get you on American Idol?
That was a random stock photo that they found on an iStock photo. The agency that was working for branding for American Idol. I came home one night at 2 a.m. after a concert, and somebody had purchased that and put it in a project for American Idol season 2, I think. So when it was when it was everything. Yeah. So it's the image they used is a random kind of abstract crowd shot. That's kind of blue lights, and it's from a concert in Canada, which I always thought was funny. The American Idol thing they're putting on billboards is a concert in Canada.
That's a Canadian audience, guys, about getting them in a meeting as quickly as possible. I think we talked about it last night, where you have people who are just sitting on inquiries for 48 hours. This day and age, if you're telling the whole world that you're hungry for work and you're letting an inquiry sit for 2 days, 2 whole days, how hungry are you?
Yep. You're also saying to that potential client that you don't this is how the service is going to be. You're going to be waiting 2 days for a response going forward.
This is how you act before you have my money. Imagine how you will act after I give you my money. I won't hear from you.
Listen, even if
it's 70%, right, of your ideal client, that 30% is going to make you reconsider this career, because that 30% is going to stress you out. be like in all aspects of the whole process. And over time, let's say you do this 10, 15 years, it's exhausting, it's tiring. So I feel like it's a bad business model to approach, and just trying to throw up a big net and just try
catch whatever comes in.
Yeah, eventually you're gonna have to, make that net work for you, like making a smaller net, but actually knowing where you're gonna catch them.
You're absolutely right. Some people are so consumed and preoccupied with their product that they forget that the experience is part of that product.
Right, they just want their
artistry. They just want their product to be perfect.
Yep.
But the thing is, that is not just the product. Okay, product is the experience that you're giving to everyone around you.
And not just your clients, potential clients.
Go to a hotel, a higher end hotel. As soon as you walk in, that scent slaps you in the face, right?
Yep.
And it just puts you in this mood, like, oh, this shit is fancy, right? And then you start walking around like, oh, it's so nice. You know what I mean? Like, it has that psychological effect, on everything.
Yeah,
100%. A lot more boundaries to set and
I
things
love
in place.
Yes, boundaries.
Right.
And I established them from the beginning in the contract. There's times of communication, methods of communication, who will communicate with. So that's a big one. I say, if your name is not on this contract, I don't need to speak to you. You're not a decision maker in this process. So that's actually how I happened to get, through the mom involvement.
Right.
So I weeded that out.
Relationship's really bad from the very beginning. I'm not taking them on as a client. I won't. I want to know that my couples who are getting married are like really good together, and I like both of them, and I like their vibe, and they like me, and like I can call the fiance, whoever it is, and like the other one won't get jealous or won't feel like, oh, is she gonna get like flirty, or like there's none of that. We get each other. There's never any disrespect or competitiveness. I know if I give an idea, if you don't like it, you can say, I'm not in love with that idea, but it's going to be respectful. If you give me an idea, I'll be respectful. We're communicating. Like, that's really important to see from
I had
the start.
dyslexia until I was graduating high school.
Wait, how?
Never knew why.
How'd you get that far?
Never knew why. Yeah, I didn't know why was I failing everything? Why was I sucking at every single thing except photography and music? Like everything, I was doing horribly in school. And my senior year of high school, I went through a whole lot of shit, for lack of better words. And I also say, a lot of my anxiety comes from being bullied.
I don't necessarily have to be somebody else. I can be myself. And that's when I started becoming, I guess, I rebranded myself and changed my name to The Essential Jason Nelson. It was a nickname back in college.
It's like The Amazing Jonathan.
Yep. And I started, I guess, because a lot of people over couples who would just compliment my saxophone playing. I kept on hearing the word energy. People kept on saying, oh, you got a lot of energy. You're the life of the party. So I started kind of trying to use that to my strength and stand out a little bit more. And here we are. And I say that now even though I play the sax, I'm not going to not play the saxophone at your wedding or your party. I get hired more for, I guess, the experience that I bring, and that's what I sell every couple and every client on, rather than just
these types of conferences I'll just say projects. Doesn't matter what it is, business, whatever. And you have a passion to do it. You personally have a goal or a drive to provide something really cool to showcase. I guarantee that by you putting that energy into that, somebody else is going to walk out of that either A, wanting to do that, or they're going to be inspired with whatever it is that you put on for them. And you're going to, very dramatically, you're going to change the trajectory of their life potentially a little bit. So
yeah, it's hard to find people that would give you the chance, but if you do find it, you have to be clear about it. You have to let them know, because sometimes people tend to overstep and take advantage of the freedom or that they give you. in our case, like we took full advantage of it, and that's the agreement that we had.
Relationships that I build with my clients to today. Ben has showed me that in quite some way, that you are not just photographing somebody's wedding, you are photographing their life, their very momentous moment of their life.
All four of us, we know what we need to do to get it done.
And what it takes, yeah.
You know, I think the people who started 2018, 2019, who just getting their foot wet and getting started, they haven't, I'm sure they hustled. There's a lot of folks out there who hustled, but let's be honest, you know, 20, 21, 22, maybe even 23, those are like super easy years.
Golden years.
Golden years. More money than you could imagine possible. And you didn't really have to work that hard to get clients.